Welcome everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to perform a vehicle check on your vehicle. This video will be good for those who want to keep track of their maintenance, and also for the person who is a pre-owned buyer, what to look for. Now, the first thing you want to do is check your engine oil. And in a lot of the new vehicles, you can check your engine oil inside. There's a sensor that helps you display it right in the iDrive if you have a BMW, or it may display right in the cluster. So I'm gonna hit OK here, and measurement inactive, service interval adjusted. All right, so what this means here, that the sensor is unable to read the oil at this moment. So then that would mean there's something wrong with the sensor. So what you do is you take the sensor out, and it's underneath the oil pan, and you clean it. Or when you have your oil change done, they can help you with this. All they have to do is try to clean it, and if it still doesn't work, then that sensor would have to be replaced. Those sensors usually run from $100 to $180. So I will make a note that I need to have my oil level sensor checked and serviced. But this is how it should look like when checking your oil in the iDrive. Now let's check under the hood. First thing under the hood, check your coolant. Check your coolant level and make sure it matches this indicator here, this guide on your level. I have plenty of videos on this, so if you subscribe to the channel, check out the videos on coolant level and how to add antifreeze. Check your window washer fluid. Check your power steering fluid level and condition. I have a video on this. Check it out on the channel. Brake fluid. Check to see if it's dirty or at the right level. There's an indicator on here as well that shows you where it's supposed to be. Mine looks good, and the fluid looks clean. If you ever do a brake job, make sure that they change the fluid and also bleed the system. Check your cabin air filter. So what you want to do is pop this out and look under and see the condition. If it's very dark, then it needs to be replaced. Some vehicles have this located in the glove box. So you need to go in the glove box, take it out, and replace it if needed. Inspect the engine for any oil leaks. You should see something dark and muddy looking maybe. The valve cover on this looks pretty good. You're not going to be able to see it, but you'll be able to see signs of leaking on the block. If you have a BMW, a good area to look would be right over here for the oil filter housing gasket, or right there. And as you could see, you could tell there is a small amount of oil leak right there. So that would mean the oil filter housing gasket inside needs to be replaced. It's a small amount, so I'll make a note that at some point this would have to be replaced, and that's inside here. So this whole thing got to come out. There's a lot of work to it. Check your air filter, and that is located inside here. Just pop these out, and you can take the air filter out and you can check the condition of it. Mine is pretty new, but check your air filter. If it's very dirty, you would need to replace that. You can check your upper struts from over here. You have to try to see if there's any mushrooming in this area. like anything abnormal or cracks. Even check these bolts as well, because if they're off or uneven, that should give you a clear indicator that there is something wrong. Check your hoses to see if you see any cracks, chaffing, oily hoses like this one, anything that looks like it's about to burst. So just keep a good eye on your hoses. Check and see if you notice any water under here. That would be a sign of a coolant leak. And what you would need to do is have the system pressurized in order to find out where the leak is coming out from and replace whatever part or hoses necessary. These hood struts, make sure that your hood can open properly and stay up. A lot of times these hood struts can fail. Check your drive belt for any signs of wear, dry, cracking, flaky noises, or anything like that. This belt is very important. It's running through your alternator, your power steering, your drive shaft. There's pulleys. There's so many things this belt is basically running on, and if you need to replace it right away. Check your tires, check the depth, check the tire pressure. On the door jambs, it tells you front and rear tires what the pressure should be. It looks like 32 in the front and 39 in the rear for this vehicle. Use a tire thread gauge in order to check where you stand. If it's below 5/30 seconds, then the tires would need to be replaced. It's just not safe to be on the road. Kind of push on the vehicle back and forth just to check if you hear anything from the ball joints or tie rod or control arm. You'll have a better indicator once you drive the vehicle, or if you have a lift the vehicle up and basically shake the wheel and check for any suspension problems. Check your brakes. Now, what you want to do is stick your hand here and get a feel. Now, if you feel like sort of like a lip on your rotors, then these rotors are junk. So it looks like these rotors are gonna need to get replaced. Also, since we're on the brakes, if you see any steam coming out under here from the wheel when it's raining or you run your vehicle through the car wash, any steam coming out would indicate that your calipers are starting to seize, and those would need to get replaced. Brake pads obviously you can hear it when it's scraping, or inside the vehicle, the iDrive, it will show that the brakes need to be replaced. That's easy. So make sure you check all your brakes, so front and rear. As you can see right there, noticeably there is a lip. All these rotors need to be replaced, and I can already tell the front calipers also need to be replaced on this vehicle, and that will get done. Check your rear struts. Make sure the trunk closes properly. If it doesn't close properly, you can already tell maybe there was an accident in the rear of the vehicle. Now we have started the vehicle, and let's go to the rear and check out the smoke coming out the exhaust. Very important. If it's dark or there's a lot of smoke coming out that's very white or blue, that's a problem. There would be a check engine if it was coming out blue anyways, and maybe a check engine also if it was really dark and black. But also if when you're doing this, when you're doing the check on the smoke, do it when the engine is cold. But this vehicle here has been running for a little while, so you're not going to be able to see any smoke. So do it when you first start the vehicle. This vehicle has 109,000 miles on it. So you need to find out if the spark plugs were ever changed. Spark plugs usually at 105,000 miles, the spark plugs need to be changed. And I can already tell you, I did it around 100,000 miles, and I have the video of that in my channel, so check it out. Brake on, put the vehicle into rear. Listen for any banging. Put the vehicle into drive and listen for any banging. If you hear any banging or anything like that, then something's wrong with the transmission. So now these are some of the most important things to check out on your vehicle. You know, if you need to replace the tires, the brakes, the struts, the shocks, you wanna make a note of everything that you need to change on your vehicle just to keep it healthy. But use the repair manual. There's so much information here that you can go over. The battery is another important feature that I didn't even go over, but it is on my channel. So if you want to learn how to troubleshoot the battery, check out some of the videos on that. I'll leave the link on the description. But the repair manual helps you so much. So if you really want to keep your vehicle in top shape, because you're going to have it for a while, then go ahead and grab the repair manual and just go over some things just to make sure your engine is running very healthy.